Your Texaco dealer, the best friend your car has ever had, brings you sports news from coast to coast with your Texaco sports reporter, Tom Manning.
Good evening, everybody. Among today's headlines, your Texaco dealer brings you the American and National League baseball results. Frank Stranahan has been eliminated in the British Open. In boxing, Johnny Saxton gets a decision over Joe McKelly. In baseball, Johnny Sain of the Yankees predicts he'll win 20 games. The Cincinnati players want Rogers Hornsby fired. In horse racing, Jamie Kay gets the double cross from his owners. And Joe Black of the Brooklyn Dodgers proves he's a good sport. They're friends of the headlines from the world of sport. We'll talk about them in just a moment. Now, whether your car is brand new or a faithful old standby, you know it deserves Haviland, the best motor oil your money can buy. Haviland is an outstanding heavy-duty motor oil. That's why it gives you better gasoline mileage, better all-around performance, and longer engine life. It certainly pays to have your car's crankcase drained and refilled with custom-made Haviland at your Texaco dealers. He's the best friend your car ever had. Into the world of sports, in baseball first. In the American League today, the winners were the Yankees, the Browns, and the Athletics. Detroit and Chicago tied at 2 runs. In Busch Stadium out in St. Louis, the Browns 5, Cleveland 1. Well, that ends a 9-game losing streak for Bill Veck's team. It also ended Cleveland's magic over the Browns. The Tribe had won their last 7 games with St. Louis. Third baseman Bob Elliott, former National Leaguer. He needs only 4 more hits to enter the charmed circle of 2,000 base hit members. Went hitless in 3 trips to the plate. Bob Lemon was the losing pitcher. And Bobo Holoman, he tossed a no-hitter against the Athletics 2 weeks ago. He gets the win. Well, the defeat dropped the Indians to 3rd place, 3.5 games behind the Yankees. And 4,734 fans saw the Athletics defeat the Boston Red Sox at Shibe Park. The final score, Philadelphia 4, Boston 3. Big Gus Zernial settled the game. He hit a mighty blast into the left field seats in the 8th inning. Alex Kellner went the distance. He racked up his 6th victory against 4 losses. And Big Alex contributed 3 of the winners' 9 hits. The losing pitcher was Marv Grissom. Over in Yankee Stadium, Eddie Lopat cooled off the Washington Senators with 3 hits. The Yankees 3, the Senators 1. After spotting Washington, an unearned run in the 1st inning, well, the chunky little Yankee left-hander came home with his 4th straight triumph. Eddie Lopat now has won 8 in a row over the Nats. They last beat him on June 26, 1951. Joe Collins touched Masterson for a 4-bagger in the 2nd inning. Billy Martin put the Yanks out in front with a 4-bagger in the 3rd. And Yogi Berra belted one high into the 3rd-tier seats for the clincher in the 4th inning. Final score, Yankees 3, Senators 1. Out of the windy city of Chicago, the White Sox and the Tigers battled 15 innings. They settled for a 2-2 tie. The crowd numbered 15,894. The game was halted because of the 12:50 curfew. Well, that game lasted 4 hours and 23 minutes. The Sox led 2-1 going into the 9th inning. Then their defense fell apart. They allowed the Tigers to tie the score. So much for the American League, and now the National League. The Dodgers 5, the Giants 3, and that was a lulu. Alvin Dark's error on a routine ground ball with 2 out in the 9th inning gave Roy Campanella a chance to bat. The Brooklyn catcher clotted a 3-run homer for the Dodger victory. Joe Black relieved Billy Lowe's for the victory, and Hearn took the loss. And down in Cincinnati, St. Louis 6, Cincinnati 3. 5,309 fans saw the Cardinals get 3 doubles and 2 singles off Ken Roethlisberger. They came in the 1st inning, good for 4 runs. Mike Clark got credit for the win. He had to have help from Al Brazel. Red Schoendienst had a homer and 2 singles. Red Schoendienst, you know, leads the batters in the National League. Steve O'Neill's Phillies split a double bill with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The first game, Philadelphia 14, Pittsburgh 2. Robin Roberts hurled a neat 6-hitter to end the Phils' 5-game losing streak. In the nightcap, the Pirates broke loose with 6 runs in the 8th inning to gain an 8-6 victory. Carl Drews was charged with a 2nd-game loss. The win went to relief hurler Elroy Face. By the way, Ralph Kiner hit the 301st home run of his career, number 7 for the season. In first place, Milwaukee Braves continued their winning ways. They had a 9-4 win over the Chicago Cubs. Andy Pafko snapped a long batting slump with 3 hits. That included a 3-run homer that came over the left center field fence. That paced the Braves' assault on loser Bob Rush. The Milwaukee fans are really showing their appreciation for the Braves' play. Tonight, 30,936 fans gave the Turnstiles another workout. Now for the headlines across the nation. In golf, Harvey Ward of Atlanta, a brave battler from the hometown of the immortal Bobby Jones, sank a life-saving 8-foot putt today and defeated Frank Stranahan of Toledo. It was 1-up. That was in the 4th round of the British Amateur Golf Championship. The spine-tingling match saw Stranahan fight back within a whisker of defeating the defending champion. Harvey Ward's victory, that put him in the 5th round, was greeted with tremendous applause from the half-frozen, rain-soaked gallery of about 3,000. You know, the same 2 magnificent amateur golfers were in the finals of 1952, but Ward won by a far more comfortable margin. Last year, he beat Stranahan 6-5. In boxing tonight, undefeated Johnny Saxton scored a unanimous decision over Joe McKelly. It was a 10-rounder over in Detroit. And Johnny Sain of the Yankees predicted today that he thought that he could win about 20 games this season. Sain said, "In 1951, I had a very lame shoulder. Couldn't seem to get going, but now I feel very strong. If I can get enough starting assignments, I think I can win 20 games." Whether Johnny Sain had a sore arm or was just unhappy with the former Boston Braves is debatable. They sold him late in the season to the Yankees, and he helped them win last year's pennant. Many baseball experts are of the opinion that owner Lou Perini sold Johnny Sain to the Yankees for a fabulous price so as to remain solvent. It's true that the Boston Braves lost $400,000 in 1951 and about $600,000 in 1952. And besides, who ever heard of General Manager George Weiss, one of baseball's most capable gentlemen, paying a fabulous price for a sore-armed pitcher? Well, second thought. You know, a Yankee uniform has cured many a sore arm. Roger Hornsby appears to be in trouble with some of his Cincinnati players. A Milwaukee newspaper says the Red Leg players are getting up a petition for his dismissal. The story says that Hornsby has fined the players and also treated them pretty rough. We phoned our friend Gabe Paul. He's president of the Cincinnati Red Legs. Gabe Paul denied that there was any truth to that story. He also stated that Major League Baseball clubs were not in the habit of firing managers because the players signed petitions. In horse racing, well, the colt that almost caught native dancer in the Preakness, Jamie Kay, will miss the $50,000 Dwyer Stakes. The reason? Jamie Kay's owners forgot to nominate him. And folks, I'll be back with a great story about the Dodgers' Joe Black in just a moment. You know, good care of your car means complete care. The kind you get at your Texaco dealers. Gasoline, oil, and lubrication service? Sure. But he'll also inspect your car from radiator to tailpipe to prevent trouble. Tires, spark plugs, oil filter, batteries, and other important points will be checked. And remember, your Texaco dealer carries a complete line of tires, batteries, and other accessories to keep your car in tip-top running condition. So, my friend, take advantage of this complete car service at your Texaco dealers. He's the best friend your car ever had. Now for Joe Black. He plays with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Well, Joe recently attended a benefit for the Boy Scouts. After saying a few well-chosen words, Joe Black decided to auction off an autographed baseball signed by the Brooklyn team. Well, he had no bids. Then he remarked, "Gosh, you must all be Yankee fans. Well, if you are, I'll promise an autographed baseball by the New York Yankees to the highest bidder." 30 seconds later, a lady yelled, "Joe, I offer $200. So, Joe Black learned that the Yankees were the favorite team at the Boy Scouts meeting. Well, that wraps it up tonight for Texaco. Remember, friends, to keep your car running best, see your Texaco dealer, the best friend your car ever had. Good night, all.